For those of you who need some time warp badges for mounts or whatever else, but don't have the time to actively farm them, there's a way to farm a small amount of them, roughly 250 per hour, by only playing for about 15 seconds every 5 minutes. First, I will start with a quick summary of how to do this, then I'll take a bit more time to show how to set it up and how it works. Back in Legion, we got this scenario called the Deaths of Chromie, where you had to prevent Chromie from dying by killing 8 threats. You can replay this scenario during every time walking event, it does not have to be Legion time walking. In this scenario, you can loot an item called Sands of Time from chests and enemies. When used, this item gives you a reward or a choice between two rewards. One of the potential rewards are 10 Timewarped Badges. Actively farming this scenario can yield over 1000 badges per hour, but there's a way to utilize it for AFK farming as well. For this to work, you need to have completed the entire event before and unlocked most of, if not all, of Chromie's perks. There are several video and written guides on how to do that, so I will not go into detail. At the Obsidian Dragon Shrine, where one of Chromie's deaths is prevented, there's a chance that 3 chests spawn next to each other. These chests combined usually give around 10 Sands of Time, out of which you normally get 10 Time Warp Badges 0 to 3 times. You have to restart the scenario until you get these chests to spawn. All chests within the scenario respawn in about 5 minutes and can be looted again. The goal is to AFK these chests and loot them every 5 minutes. The problem is that the Deaths of Chromie scenario gives you a 15-minute timer before you get thrown out and have to start over. However, if you complete the scenario by preventing all 8 deaths, you can stay inside for an indefinite amount of time. So the gist of this method is to restart the scenario until you see the 3 chests, complete the scenario, then return to the chests and AFK there, looting them every 5 or so minutes. The setup for this takes about 15 minutes. I will now go through the process of setting this up and how it looks when you're set up. You can start the Deaths of Chromie scenario by going to the Violet Citadel in the Legion version of Dalaran. When you talk to Chromie upstairs, she will teleport you to Wyrmrest Temple and start the scenario. The first goal is to fly over to the Obsidian Dragon Shrine in the top left corner of the map and check if the 3 chests are up. I personally like to kill these roaming rares on the map because they drop additional Sands of Time, but it is not necessary to set up for the AFKing. You do have to kill the demon that spawns outside the Obsidian Dragon Shrine cave entrance though. This is the point where you can see if the 3 chests are up from a distance. If the 3 chests are up, you should continue, if not, you should restart the scenario. You can restart the scenario by talking to Chromie back at the temple. I tend to open the chests along the way, but this is not necessary to set up the AFKing. There is 1 chest at every shrine. The Ruby Shrine is completed by killing the Lich inside the tree. The Azure Shrine is completed by killing the Void enemy that spawns on the floating platform on the eastern side of the shrine. The Emerald Shrine is completed by killing the Satyr that spawns in front of the pond. The remaining 4 deaths are prevented by going through the 4 portals at the Wyrmrest Temple and completing objectives there. However, all of these events can be skipped by using items found in Time Lost Keepsake boxes, which are a possible reward from the Sands of Time. Make sure to open your Sands of Time whenever you are able to, so you have these items ready when you get this far. I personally like to do the Battle for Enderhall portion, as it can get you a lot of extra Sands of Time for extra badges and skip only the other 3, but you can choose to skip all 4 instead. You can skip this portion by bringing the scenario and circle documents to Adrin Tauhite, who is a female Tauren in the building where you entered through the portal. If you wish to complete this portion, you have to kill several elite mobs of the opposing faction in their part of the town and loot them to get items which are used to destroy the cannon. When opening the Sands of Time, you can always safely select the left option, as both the Timewarped Badges and the Time Lost Keepsake boxes will appear on the left side. The only time when you should consider the right option is if you think you might run out of time and need the additional time reward, or if you want the movement speed buff, which both appear on the right side. Make sure you don't forget to loot the items for destroying the cannon like I did. The Mount Hyjal portion is completed by using the Brimstone beacon next to injured Chromie to summon the fiery behemoth, which you then kill. To complete the Stratholme portion, walk down the left path in the city and use the Stratholme gate key to skip directly to the boss. After you kill the boss, save Chromie trapped in web. To complete the Veil of Eternity portion, use Tyranda's Moonstone to get carried directly to the boss. After killing the boss, walk to the portal for Chromie to seal it, then leave. At this point the timer has stopped and you can now stay inside the scenario for as long as you want. Return to the 3 chests at the Obsidian Dragon Shrine, loot them as they have probably respawned, and begin AFKing. Here's a very sped up section of me waiting for the chest to respawn so you can see how long it takes. As you'll see, it takes roughly 5 minutes for the first one to spawn, but it's not guaranteed that they spawn in 5 minutes, as the second one spawns a couple of seconds after, and then third one spawns over a minute after the first one. So over time you can expect your chest spawns to get very staggered and spawn at weird intervals and not all 3 at the same time. That's it, thanks for watching, see ya!